Hey everyone, it's John Orlando from the PVD Cast, and I wanted to take a few moments of your time to let you know where you can find the PVD Cast. The online home of yours truly, PVDcast.com, is a great place to go, but it's also available through all the major podcasting platforms like Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, etc. There's also live broadcasts of the PVD Cast every single week. Mondays 8 p.m. Eastern through the Facebook page of the PVD Cast, and Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. through the Scene Snobs Facebook page. And no matter how you listen, please make sure you rate, review, and subscribe. And with that, I will chat at each and every one of you later.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for tuning into the Scene Snobs Network, but I'm not here to talk to you about the Scene Snobs. I'm here to talk to you about Max and Jason, Three Geeks Podcast. You will probably tune into the Three Geeks Podcast and be like, 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, there's obviously more than 3. There's like 89 million of us. We started with 3. We're like gremlins. We just keep multiplying.
Yeah, they fed us at midnight. They poured some water on us, and now it's like 78 geeks. But you can be a geek too.
If you like comedy, which we sometimes do, if you like hearing about movies, TV shows, you like hearing hot takes from Max and John, you like hearing somebody who loves most things, but when I get mad about a show, it's pretty entertaining, I gotta say. But no, we're the Three Geeks Podcast. We're just a group of friends that don't talk to each other through the week so we can have natural conversations on Sunday.
Yep.
We're like actually probably the worst group of friends because we don't ever talk to each other outside of doing podcasts. I mean, except for you and I. That's because we're roommates. But, like Three Geeks Podcast. Tune in, check us out.
And have fun.
Yes.
Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah. And recycle your droids.
What's going on, everybody? It's the Scene Snob, Mick Manhattan, and I'm here to tell you guys about the scenesnobs.com. We're a channel of variety, comedy, entertainment, geek-related, sports, the whole 9 yards. We cover almost every genre. And we have so many great shows to choose from. We have shows like the Scene Snobs Podcast, BTB Podcast, The Guapo Show, the Sports Snobs Podcast, the PVD Cast, Jeff Dwoskin presents Crossing the Streams, the Three Geeks Podcast, the Fandom Effect. We probably have the only Matlock-based podcast called Matt Talk, and we're introducing new shows all the time. We have new shows coming up like the Ear Hustling Podcast, Carpool Shenanigans, and of course, From Some Nobodies, Twitching Upstream, and Talking Upstream. So come on, check out the scenesnobs.com, enjoy it, and please leave feedback. Like, follow, subscribe us, and just let us know what you think. We love to have all the interaction. So I, again, am the Scene Snob, Mick Manhattan. Check out thescenesnobs.com. You can follow us anywhere on social media at The Scene Snob, and we will talk to you guys soon. Take care.
Hey, everybody, it's CJ Graham, Jason Voorhees. That's right, Friday the 13th, Part 6, and you're listening to thescenesnobs.com.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Monday night, the showcase with Mick Manhattan. I am the Scene Snob. We're back again. We're here for a very special episode. I am bringing on a very talented young filmmaker to join me, and we're going to talk about some of his upcoming projects and what he's got going on. Now, I have an interview with him on the Scene Snobs interviews. His name is Philip Brandon Johnson. Go check him out. He's from J96 Productions. He's running it. I mean, he's doing some really talented things right now. So what I want you to do is I want you to go over and check out, not right now, watch this right now. Then later, go and check out our interview over on Scene Snobs Interviews over on thescenesnobs.com. So without further ado, I want to bring Philip on and talk about his upcoming stuff. Philip, welcome to the show, man.
Hey, how's it going? I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely, man. We're very glad to have you. How are you doing, man, since last we talked?
I've been doing pretty good, trying to, focus on the filmmaking part of what I do. Just trying to get everybody, to stay tuned for what I have coming out. So I'm glad to be here.
Well, with that, tell us a little bit about yourself, because I want them to go check out the interview, so I don't want to get too in depth with everything we talked about there. But tell them a little bit about, stuff that you have out now, And then let's get into what you got going on.
Well, my name is Philip Brandon Johnson. I'm from Georgia. I'm currently in the Army, and I'm also trying to do my filmmaking career. So it's been a little bit of a hassle, but I think I'm coming along pretty good. Some of the stuff that I've already been putting out is, my YouTube channel where we do tips and tricks. We talk about anything that has to do with filmmaking. We talk about any gear that anybody starting out as a filmmaker would need, and any skills that any guy or girl starting out in filmmaking would need as well. Um, the movie Hangman that I did almost a year ago is out on my YouTube channel too, if you want to check that out. It's a story basically about this girl who wants to commit suicide, but then she finds out that she doesn't really want to die because a serial killer is on her tail. So it's a really interesting film. Definitely check it out. And yeah, I'm just a filmmaker trying to make his mark on the world, just trying to make it now. So when I leave, eventually my family after me will be able to, take over and keep the tradition going.
Oh yeah, man, keep the legacy alive. That's the way to do it. So let's get into a little bit. So what are your plans going forward? I know, with everything with COVID, it kind of slowed a lot down, but you've still been working. You've still been doing a lot in the past year or so. But I'm wondering, like, what's for you? What are some things that you have going down the pipe now? Like, what any new movies that you're working on, or any new projects?
Yeah, a new project called Ash. I'm actually pretty much finished with post production on that. The trailer releases on the 24th, which is in a couple days now. So be sure to check that out on my YouTube channel. And it's actually going to come out on March the 10th on a Wednesday. It's a really good short film. It's basically about a family going through some really tough times with death and things like that, and a revelation that ends up happening that no one really sees coming. So I got that. I also have, me working with some other filmmakers in the future. We're going to be making around 5 to 6 short films this coming year. So just stay tuned for that. And I'm also going to be trying to, network with as many people as I can when it comes to videography. I'm also going to be trying to get my business out there where I do cinematic commercials for small business. So that's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming from me. And I just want everybody to stay tuned for that.
Yeah, man. Well, that's awesome. And so for you, going forward with everything too, that sounds great. I mean, it seems like you're going to keep yourself really busy. Um, is there what else are you working on to kind of build it? Like, is there funding that you're looking for? Are you working with a producer or anything like that?
For these upcoming short films and this videography project I have going on, no, I'm not really outsourcing to a producer this time. My last short film, I had the producer named Arthur Gonzalez. He helped me out a lot through that project. But this time I'm gonna go solo because I wanna, make my mark when it comes to doing everything. I wanna be able to, get my feet into everything instead of just focusing on small particular things so that
Mhm.
way I can, get up there my own way. Um, but as far as crowdfunding goes, I'm pretty sure that I will be, going the traditional route, Kickstarter, GoFundMe, things like that. But right now, that's not really in the works yet, but it will be for sure.
Awesome, man. Well, yeah, I mean, that's a great way to go. And it's helped many a filmmaker out, especially for short films, things like that. So, well, is there what else? Where else can people find you? I know you have your YouTube channel. What's that? Where can people go to see that? Just so they can go head over there.
My YouTube channel is J96 Productions. You can also find me on my Instagram underscore J96 Productions, and also on Facebook. I have a Facebook page called J96 Productions. So it'll be pretty easy to find me if you just type that in. Um, and I haven't really been going to any other social sites yet because I kind of like focus on trying to get the most out of a certain few. But you'll definitely be seeing me a lot more in a lot more places.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's very cool to hear. So with your new projects coming up, and you're going to get ready, you're going to do the crowdfunding yourself. Like, how big of a crew are you expecting to have on each project?
I expect to have probably between 5 to 10 people max, just because I like to have a select few individuals that know what they're doing. My last project, Ash, I had a DP named Eric Struck, and he was really great. He knew exactly what to do. He knew exactly how to stage everybody, according to my vision as the director. And I like having people like that who are focused and driven and know their job inside and out. And in the future, obviously, I do want to, do every job so I know the particulars for every job. But as far as the crew goes, I would say 5 to 10 people max, because you don't want too many people on set when it comes to something that you're really, driven and focused on.
Mhm. I mean, I can understand that, but at the same time, too, collaborating is always, good, and you
Oh
always get to meet new people and such. So, and just outside point of view, sometimes I know plenty of
yeah,
times when I've been on set, like, you know, somebody, different creative outlets would kind of occur from some of the most unlikely sources. So,
yeah. Mm.
for sure. Now, going with this, and with filmmaking, again, I don't want we did this in the interview, but I want to talk more about, like, what do you see for J96? I know you said you want to be a legacy, but what are you building towards? What's your ultimate look for it?
Well, in my opinion, my ultimate look for it would have to be to focus on a niche when it comes to the certain types of films that I want to make. Eventually, I want to have a staple made for psychological horror, and the reason why I say that is because I think in my mind, psychological horror is one of those genres that is kind of overlooked at the moment. But at the same time, it's one of those things that if you see a movie of psychological horror that's really intense, that's really gonna hit you emotionally, then you're probably gonna be wanting to see that movie again over and over, no matter what the movie is, because it's
Hmm.
uh, to me, it's just that captivating. A movie that can actually make you think about something that you just have not thought about in a very long time. Movies to me like that are like really, really intense, and I really love making movies like that. So that's just what I want to.
I agree, and like, so ultimately, where you are. So you are from Atlanta. Are you still based out of Atlanta, or are you in where are you at currently?
Currently, I'm in Washington.
Mhm. Well, I mean, that's got a pretty good creative outlet there as well. So I'm sure, there's a lot of potential help in terms of crew and stuff like that. Um, what is something you want? Do you want to build J96 there? Or are you looking to maybe go into California, over to Atlanta?
I think I'm looking to build it here just because I know the community here when it comes to film are so inviting that I wouldn't really need to go anywhere else to establish something of my own. Um,
Mhm.
and obviously, the making the business aspect of it happen here is a lot easier and a lot less expensive when it comes to going to California or something like that.
Mhm.
So I think I'm definitely gonna try to make my mark here, and then when my brand builds a lot more, then I'll branch out to other places. Hopefully I'll be able to network with people that they can also join me on the journey too. So I'm definitely
Yeah.
hoping for that though, for sure.
Well, what are some, like, we talked about outsourcing the producing? Is there something? A producer something that you're maybe somebody want to meet and collaborate with down the line, or how's that working?
I would definitely be open to doing that, especially someone who was willing to, show me the ropes of a more advanced way of doing it. Because all I really know about is, doing it on your own, getting the money on your own, not really looking to go other places to, finance and things like that. Because I
Hmm.
really put all my money into it and did everything that I could to get it out there. But I would definitely be open to finding a producer out there, not really by name, just somebody who would be willing to take that leap of faith and really work with me, and then we could also build off of each other.
Yeah, I mean that's a great idea, and I know you're doing a lot of directing and writing and stuff like that. So it's always good to have somebody in your corner to kind of just kind of oversee things that you can't work with at the moment. How about a cinematographer? Is there somebody that you work with closely?
Not currently, but I am looking for somebody who is really great at, making that vision happen along with what I write. I think that's really something that um, I wasn't really, I was kind of lacking in the last short films that I've done. Obviously, cinematography is somewhat simple when it comes to short films, but I would definitely want a cinematographer that knows, what they're talking about when it comes to certain things about, what would evoke a certain feeling, what would be better with this type of music if you saw this on screen, things like that. I would definitely be looking for that too as well.
Nice. Okay. So what is your like for you? We talked about goals, talked about where you want to bring the company, things like that, and what kind of films you want to work on. But ultimately, for you, what is your main goal, like in life, like when it comes to filmmaking? I know it's kind of a lifestyle. So, like, where do you see yourself in maybe 10 years with J96?
I see myself owning a whole bunch of, production company buildings when it comes to, the United States. I also see myself really being one of the only few companies that actually focus on story more than production value. I know a lot of production companies, they kind of have that name, so the movies that they produce don't really have that much of a story tied to it. It's just more of visual effects and things like that. So I don't really want to be that company that just has the big, explosions, um, you know, uh, just having random stars in their films for no reason. Like I want to be that company that has those things, but has more of a really great story to tell when it comes to the movies that they produce. Like for example, A24. A24 is one of my favorite companies because they have so much impact in their story. They're not really focusing on the the surprising stuff. They really just focus on the story, and it has a lot of twists and turns in their story. So that's what I really like about them.
Nice. So, going forward, though, like, what's what other genres would you really like to touch into that isn't within your norm right now? Maybe you'd like to visit.
For sure, my number one is romance. I haven't really, gone into that, and I think there's so many opportunities to go into romance, especially when it comes to whatever genre you're used to doing. Because I know, Jordan Peele, he's so used to comedy, and now he just went all the way into horror. So, you know, something going into something so different from what you're normally used to doing and making such an impact, I think is really what I want to do. And also, I'd love to go into action at some point. You know, I love action sequences. I love Fast and Furious movies like that that have that real action hit magic to it. So I definitely love to go into those two and kind of dabble in it. Make more of an impact in those areas too, along with all the other genres, obviously.
Mhm. That's awesome. So what are some filmmakers and some maybe actors or movies that have inspired you along the way?
A couple filmmakers that inspired me are, David Lynch, for example. He's really unorthodox when it comes to what he does, and the type of movies he makes too. Um, and another filmmaker in my mind, again, will be Jordan Peele, and not really because it's comedy. Honestly, I'm not really that into his comedy. It's funny, but to me, it's not really that good. But when it comes to his films, like Get Out and Us, for example, too, those are movies that really made an impact when it comes to how creative it was. The storyline behind it, how he really kind of made you think, okay, that could actually happen. That actually, makes sense. Um, and some actors that really inspired me are Jodie Foster, for one. you know, with Silence of the Lambs, she really made an impact. Even though you know,
Mhm.
she wasn't really the main villain in the movie, she was still that person that kind of made it, you know, tailored to more than one type of individual when it comes to the audience that it was being intended on being shown to. Um, Another movie I think really motivated me to make a movie had to be The Dark Knight. Christian Bale is a really great individual when it comes to these movies. You know, there's movies like that that have that action, but also have that story. Like I said earlier, you know, that really gets you tied down to it. And of course, Heath Ledger, obviously, with his great, you know, performance as Joker, um, who I think is probably the best Joker by far. Um, I think those types of movies and those types of filmmakers really motivated me to go out on my own and try to make movies on my own too. So I really appreciate the fact that they were, you know, allowed the opportunity to do it, and I want to have that opportunity too one day.
That's awesome, man. So I mean, great answers too. So what is, going, with everything that's going on right now, and what are your big aspirations for this year? Like I know you said that you want to, crowdfund, you want to work on Ash, which is your next movie and things, but like, by, with everything kind of having been shut down last year, what are some smaller goals throughout this year that you'd like to get on? Maybe not just the crowdfunding or getting another picture done, but like, what kind of groups do you want to collaborate with? Things like that,
Um, I think I want to at some point this year start like just a group of individuals, even if it's just actors, you know, gaffers, things like that. Just people who want to work on certain things when it comes to film. I just want to have like a group of people who, you know, they don't have to be working on a film, but they could be, you know, working on a script and wanting to pitch it or something like that. You know, all of us helping each other out when it comes to new ideas, when it comes to, you know, altering your scripts, when it comes to just, you know, networking with other people that you might know that might help that individual with whatever field of expertise they are in when it comes to film. I think I would just want to try to establish a group like that, you know, where
Mhm.
we really looking for gain, except for knowledge, except for in, you know, opportunities, you know, positions to learn more, things like that. I just think um, in a group like that, dedicated to helping each other, I think it would be a lot easier when it comes to advancing your knowledge, especially when it comes to COVID-19. You know, we can't really go anywhere, um, not as much as we used to be able to, you know, and that big of a crowd we used to. So I think that would be a very beneficial thing for everybody involved.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. So with filmmaking, it is a collaborative effort. That is a huge thing. So it is cool that you want to network and keep that up. Don't never burn a bridge. Always kind of keep it. Keep learning at all times. You never stop learning in this industry. I know, like even me, getting back into this, like I was a filmmaker, and now I'm doing the broadcast thing. So it's different worlds. So like, but one thing I've always had to keep up with is studying my equipment, what's new, what needs, everybody's kind of on top of, studying different softwares, things like that will help, but also always trying to learn more and more. So like I'm always watching interviews with filmmakers, I'm always watching interviews, actors on behind the scenes, talking about sets, talking about what's going on here, what this is about. Behind the scenes footage of movies, things like that is so important. I think you have a lot of talent from everything I've seen. You going forward, if you have anything you need to promote, we'll always do it for you happily. I mean, I think supporting indie is the biggest thing anybody can do right now, and that's in terms of the entertainment industry, and it's what's keeping the industry alive right now. So
Yeah.
so I mean, going forward, I think the really important thing is keep getting your name out there, focus on social media, putting out there who you are, what you're doing, what you're here to say. Connect. Go everywhere, connect with other filmmakers, even if it's just to talk about things. It's so important for filmmakers, and a lot of filmmakers outside of like the main hubs of Hollywood or New York City, I think tend to lose that feel for it, especially filmmakers who don't go to film school. And I'm not an advocate of you have to go to film school. Not by no means. I'm not saying that. But one thing I learned with film school, probably the only thing, no, I'm just kidding. But one important thing I learned was the connection. It is definitely the most important thing I've walked away with. I've been very fortunate to connect with a lot of people who have helped me along the way, and I've been fortunate to help. And that's the name of the game. Filmmaking is not a competition. It's a collaboration. I know outside of it, a lot of people try to make you believe like you got to compete to make it. But if you're collaborating and you're connecting with people, you're already making it. You're way ahead of the game. So, I think that's important. So with everything coming up, when you're doing your crowdfunding for your next film, please let us know. So that way we can definitely put it out there. We will put the word out for you. But before we go or anything, is there anything else that you want to put out there now so where people can connect with you? Or I know we're going to have your stuff on the description so they'll be able to get to your social media, but if people are interested in helping you out with further projects, is there a certain best way to get to you, or would it be Facebook or something like that?
It would definitely be my Instagram page. I check that pretty constantly.
Okay.
I'm always looking for people who are in Tacoma, Seattle area, to be, on the crew, and honestly, I don't really look at the resumes that much, simply because, anyone who's eager to learn, anyone who's eager to like actually do it and learn it and do it to the best of their ability, those are really the type of people that I want when it comes to working on a project. A lot of people who on my last project were new to doing certain things, and they did it really great, especially, when they asked, confirmation on certain things, and they got the hang of it and they kept doing it more and more. So definitely I'm looking for people who are motivated, focused and determined, like all the other people who I work with. But again, my trailer's coming out on the 24th for Ash. The movie's coming out on March the 10th. I really want everybody to see it, and I want people to see what I got in the future coming up. And, I'm more than willing to work with anybody, who's willing to hit the ground running and focus on, their dreams and achieving their goals. So I'm very excited for it.
That's awesome, man. And so everybody, on the 24th, which is 2 days from now, make sure you check out J96 Productions page, or you can check out the Scene Snobs. We will be sharing the trailer once it's up. So please head out, support Philip, support Indy. It's so important. It really is. I want to thank you, Philip, for coming on the show tonight to tell us what's going on. Again, you guys can go over and check out our interview, which is on the Scene Snobs interviews. If you go over to thescenesnobs.com, wherever you listen to podcasts, or it's also on our YouTube. So, with that being said, thanks for jumping on the showcase tonight, man. This is awesome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love being on stuff like this, and I love talking to you any chance I get, man.
Well, I mean, we'll have you on again, and definitely. And next time we'll be talking movies. We're going to have you on our other shows where we just sit back and relax and talk movies and stuff like that. I think you'll have a good time.
Okay, definitely. Can't wait for that.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you guys so much. I am Mick Manhattan, of course, the Scene Snob. You can check me out at the Scene Snob, right over here. Anywhere, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Follow us, like us, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Appreciate it all. And then, so whenever, also go over to thescenesnobs.com, check out any one of our shows. We're up to 20 now. We have 6 more joining this month. So we are looking forward to it. So until next time, we'll talk to you guys later. And that's our show, everybody. Thanks for listening. I am Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob. We always appreciate you guys tuning in and commenting along and everything else. Go check out this show or any of our other shows on thescenesnobs.com. thescenesnobs.com. We love you. You guys are awesome. And if you would like, follow and subscribe to our social media. That really helps us go a long way. And please spread the word. Tell your friends. Have them come in. We love feedback and everything else. So everybody, you have a great day. Again, thanks for listening. thescenesnobs.com. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.